Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sri Banerjee, core faculty for the College of Health Sciences and Public Policy at Walden University. And in this lecture, I'm going to be talking about a very serious topic, modern slavery and human trafficking. Surprising thing is that yes, it still does exist, and in fact, the proportions and the numbers are staggering and alarming. But before that, it's important to discuss about the meanings and the definitions of exploitation versus slavery, modern slavery, bonded labor, and the U.S. Congress government agencies. They actually use trafficking and slavery interchangeably. Another area that becomes important is how humans are trafficked or smuggled. Was there a facilitator involved in trying for that person to be recruited, harbored, transported, provided, or obtained? And so 2000 explicitly the Trafficking Victims Protection Act actually criminalized any sort of recruitment or harboring for these purposes. Likewise, the UN's Palermo Protocol in 2000 centered on coercion and deception, but is broader in scope than TVPA. So the core indicators are exploitation, abuse of power, benefits control, and vulnerability. So the next question you might be asking yourself, and this is using something called the Global Slavery Index, is that how many people, how many people suffer this? And initially in 2000, there was an estimate of 700,000. But since then, in 2016, it's been proclaimed that there were about 40 million people involved in global slavery. And this is in cities and different places. So big data analysts are actually going in and trying to understand exactly what is going on. But out of one questionnaire, it was found that 2/3 of the victims discovered during transit that their travel documents were fraudulent. 4/5 had their passport confiscated by the employer, and 3/4 were forced to work excessive hours and were poorly paid. So all types of slavery going on all around the world, and it needs to end. Slavery in all its forms, child trafficking, sex trafficking, all of those things, they need to end, and they need to end now. So extreme polymorphous victimization is an area that is important to understand, and that includes beatings, denial of health care, humiliation, and total confinement. And these types of things just need to stop. And so it ends with some sex trafficking, child victimization, also commercial fishing, where Thai men and boys were forced to work 20 to 25 hours, or else they were beaten and whipped if they complained or tried to rest. So this is going on everywhere, and in many sectors, mining, agriculture, manufacturing, domestic work, construction, fishing. And you can see the breakdown by labor area. And so this is interesting. So 24% is domestic work, but then 18% is construction worker. And then going into some Cambodian trafficking. So in conclusion, social economic factors push these types of opportunities, smugglers, trafficking, but this really does need to come to an end. And really, different entities from different countries and organizations need to all come together and put a stop to slave labor, childhood labor, and any sort of trafficking, period. Thank you for listening.